what's the topic today?
I don't know, I had this thought and it was so profound to me because I feel like in today's day and age, we're kind of raised on the idea of individualism. And like, I'm completely fine on my own by myself, and that's the ultimate goal that like people aim for. And the thing is that I don't think that's the right thing to aim for. I know that's gonna sound a little bit like controversial, especially because, you know, feminism is all about I'm a woman but I can do it like a man. Like, I'm a woman but I can do it all by myself. It's not about needing a man. I mean, I'm a lesbian, like I'm not with a man, but I think it's the idea is having a companion. And like how important that is. Do you have any thoughts on that topic?
The only thought that I have in this moment is just you're making me think about a movie that I watched a long time ago, and they are quoting the Bible. I don't know which part of the Bible, but at one point they say if you start a journey, you'd better start it with somebody else. Like, it's always good to have somebody else to be into, at least when you start a journey. And that's because, you know, it's always good to help each other, to have somebody who can keep the door open for you if it's in front of you and you are carrying a lot of stuff. You have somebody who can do that for you. It's just a metaphor, right? And yes, it's important unless you are a loner. You know, I'm thinking about Into the Wilderness, the movie.
Into the Wild?
It's interesting because at the end, you know, he wants to do everything. He starts his journey by himself. He wants to travel by himself. He wants to be by himself and everything. And then he ends up, you know, in Alaska where he dies. But he writes in his journal, life is not, you know, happiness or whatever you experience is not worth it if you don't experience it with somebody else.
He wrote that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember the movie.
I hope I remember well.
Again.
It's a very good example of that. If he was with somebody else, he would have some help and he wouldn't have died.
I feel that when we get out of our families, because that's the natural drive, is to get away from the family that you're with, the aim shouldn't be doing it all on your own from that point forward. I feel like the drive should be like finding the new family, if that makes sense, like choosing your family. In fact, they say friends are the family that you choose.
New people bring new things in our lives and new perspectives. So that's why we always, it's important to, when you make your own family away from your family where you were born into, it's a way of expanding that possibilities of learning new things.
I just now realize how precious it is to have somebody to like bounce ideas off of, or even just like hold and to touch. Like, just even hugging is such like a basic human need that we overlook all the time. Yeah, I just feel like feminism and all of that went to the extreme of making people feel like I have to be able to do it by myself. Oh yeah, I was thinking about this because basically I don't want to drive. Look, I'll explain to you. I learned how to drive because my mom really wanted me to get my license and drive a car, and I got my license, but then I couldn't get my highway license because I'm terrified of driving on the highway. Here in Canada, if you can't get your highway license, they like take away your license when it expires, so you have to start all over again. Anyway, it's a long story, but I failed so many times and I couldn't get it. And I realized I don't want to drive. Like, I just don't feel comfortable driving. I can drive, but I don't want to because it doesn't make me feel safe in the car. It's such a feminist idea that I felt like my mom really wanted me to have that license and really wanted me to be able to be that like independent, I can do it all by myself kind of woman.
But she was fine. Your mom was fine with you.
No, I mean, she was a little disappointed. I think deep down that's what she wanted, but that's not the point. The point is that I don't think that should be what I'm aiming for, because there's nothing wrong with interdependency or like having strengths and weaknesses. Your strength might be driving.
I love driving.
My strength might
not
be
in the
doing
city.
Something else.
yeah, of course. People have strength in different things.
What I mean to say is, you know how people are kind of allergic to dependency? Like, at this point, it's like an insult if you say, oh, I depend on somebody for that. But it shouldn't be.
It's weird because I developed some, I should say, self-reliance. Sometimes you're alone or you want to do so many things and you don't always find people around who help you. You develop a certain self-reliance. You rely on yourself. So I developed that, but in spite of that, I always hope, for some help. I remember I was, making documentaries and traveling a lot by myself, and I wasn't enjoying it in the end of the day. I mean, I was really missing somebody, who would share all the difficult moments of, doing this. But for the feminist aspect, I've never found myself, I can do this. I've always thought, for this I need a man.
And that's good. At least you recognize what you can do.
I mean, they are stronger, of course, and they can do certain things that I cannot do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's the thing. You can still be a feminist, but there's nothing wrong with being like dependent in certain aspects. Yeah, I just wanted to like put these thoughts out there.
So wait, why did you have that thought? Did you feel like at one point in your life that you needed to be only dependent on yourself?
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. I always felt this from both my parents, my mom and my dad, this feeling like I should be able to do everything by myself.
I feel that this is something that parents do, and I find myself also being a little bit like that, because parents are worried about their kids and they want them to be able to just be self-sufficient, self-reliant, and all
I
that.
get that.
And so that they don't need anybody and say, okay, if I die, when I die, they know what to do. So they always think like that.
I get that. I get that. But the thing is I can't also go against my own nature, because then I will make myself sick. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be like, okay, I'm going to be completely independent. That means I'm going to live out in the woods without any housing, without any water.
I mean, that's an extreme.
I know that's an extreme, but I'm giving it as an example. What if my nature calls for the fact that driving is not for me? What if that's the case? And I'm forcing myself to do it will cause extra stress on my body, extra stress on my psyche, and perhaps I'll be in an accident and then I will suffer as a result of it. So why do I have to go against my nature? I feel like it's human nature to be interdependent. The tribe, the community, that's like human nature. We're social animals.
So that's your epiphany.
That's my epiphany,
being interdependent is okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, that's it.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, I agree. I agree. There are people who think that they are accomplished if you can do everything by themselves, and
it's the new standard, really. I mean, I'm not talking about let's go back to the way things were, like marry a man and that's your job. Like, that's not what I'm talking about here at all. I mean, I'm lesbian, like, let's be honest, that's never gonna happen with me. In fact, I sometimes say if I was straight, my life would have been so easy, because I'm the perfect housewife. I would just be so happy, stay at home, like 50s housewife, sign me up, but I'm not, and I don't want kids, so there's that. But yeah, I feel like we're all individuals with strengths and weaknesses, and if we're being self-loving and honest, maybe there's some things that I shouldn't be doing, and it's okay to ask for help in that sense.
Yes, I agree.
So what's something that you can't do and you want to ask for help? Because now I feel like
I remember when I can just say this, that I remember when I was at the office and I had a huge admiration for one of my bosses, and I remember that whenever she had to organize something and she needed some help, she would go in the street and say, hey, come over, help me with this, help me with that. They were installing a gondola, a Venetian gondola in front of the building where I was working for. There were people passing by and she would say, hey, can you give us a hand? And she was, asking everybody. And I kind of like that, she just asks for help whenever she needs it. She doesn't do things by herself.
No, but I meant like, what's something you can't do, or like you can't do all by yourself, I guess. Why do you need a companion?
Why would I say need a companion?
Yeah.
To do or just to be? Like, because you can be in a house and you're by yourself. There is a difference, by being by yourself and feeling there is an energy around. Okay. I like feeling that there is energy around. Like, especially if I connect very well with that energy.
Yeah, I was gonna say not just any energy, right?
Not just
my energy.
Yeah, I love. That's why people get together and live together, and they get married, and for many years, it's because, of course, they feel comfortable with each other.
Yeah. Anyway, we went off on a tangent.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's it for today's video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like, what do you think about this topic of independence versus interdependence? And do you think it's right that we're aiming to be, like, so independent in the name of self-reliance, but we're ignoring human nature? are a huge part of human nature, I guess, because we're social.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye. I'm fading away.